Are you curious about the next level minced meat from Lidl? I know I was. In this video I'm sharing my thoughts and some recipes. So step into my kitchen and let's start cooking. Hi everyone and welcome to Beat the Rush. My name is Sofia and today we're having a closer look at the next level minced meat from Lidl. We are recreating two of my recipes with a vegan minced meat. And if you stay until the end, I'll show you a sneak peek into next week. For a brand new recipe I created specially for this vegan minced meat. But first, a quick look at the Next Level vegan minced meat. The Next Level meat is a brand of meat alternatives you can find at Lidl. And this is what it looks like. As you can see, it sure looks the part. Let's look at the ingredients. The first one is water, followed by soy protein and wheat protein. It also contains carrots and mushrooms, coconut oil and rapeseed oil, and all these other things you can see here. Per 100 grams, there's 236 calories and 18.5 grams of protein. Is that good? I wouldn't know, I'm not a dietitian. We'll have to ask one. I do want to point out there's already some salt, so we need to be careful with that. As for the price, here in Portugal it costs €3.89 for 275 grams. Maybe different in other places, but I find it to be a little bit pricey. The packaging is quite interesting, but more about that in a little bit. The first recipe we're trying is a Bolognese sauce. We'll be using my recipe for Bolognese sauce with some adjustments in order to compare the end result. Let's start with the usual suspects: olive oil, celery, onion, and carrot. Sauté over medium heat for 5 minutes and then add 2 minced garlic cloves. Let it cook for a few more minutes until the vegetables soften. Add the wine to the pan and let it reduce. Meanwhile, let's look at the packaging. You can peel the plastic off, like so, and recycle the cardboard. Lidl claims it uses 71% less plastic, which is pretty cool, I guess. It does smell a bit like cat food when raw, in my opinion, so there's that. Back to the pan, add the mince. I like to break it into small pieces, but by all means, dump it all in at once. It's your call. Let it cook for about 10 minutes, mixing it occasionally and breaking it with a spoon or spatula. You can see it actually browns and keeps its texture, which I frankly find impressive. Add a can of tomato puree and a can of water. Season it with a tiny bit of salt and pepper. Add the tomato paste and the dark chocolate, and let it come to a simmer. Cook over medium heat for 20 minutes or until the sauce thickens and the vegetables are tender. Meanwhile, cook the pasta according to the instructions on the package. And here's the end result. If you ask me, it actually looks a lot like regular Bolognese sauce. And it's really delicious, if fake meats are your thing, of course. And here's how it looks compared with my TVP Bolognese. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. Okay, onto some chili, cause you know I have to. Add some olive oil to a pan, followed by onion and garlic. I usually use 1 red chili and 1 jalapeno, but I couldn't find any this week, so I went with these little guys. If you're familiar with Portuguese food, you may recognize the piri piri. Sauté over medium heat for 5 minutes. Before adding the mince, let me address something a bit controversial. I don't like mushrooms. I know, it's not proper vegetarian behavior, but I have to speak my truth. And if you've been paying attention, there are some mushrooms in this mince. The good news is, it doesn't taste like mushrooms, which is nice. Okay, add the mince to the pan and let it cook for 10 minutes, mixing occasionally, otherwise it will stick to the pan. As you can see, this mince is really easy to use. Season with cumin, garlic powder, paprika, oregano, ground coriander seeds, salt, and pepper. Add crushed tomatoes, water, dark chocolate, and the beans. Cook over medium heat for 20 minutes. Serve with your favorite toppings. If I could choose only one topping, I'd have to go with lime juice, so here it is. Let's look at the TVP chili so you can see the difference. This is very delicious, but I have to warn you, if you get that heartburn after the Rebel Whopper at Burger King, you'll probably have it after this. I can't quite describe it, but it has a bit of an aftertaste. But it is very tolerable, especially if you don't eat it every day for a week because you cooked too much food for a YouTube video. Well, it was worth it. Before we look at the pros and cons, let me show you a sneak peek into next week. So next week I'm showing you how to make these vegan meat pies. They're so good, I'm super excited to share this recipe with you. I share them with a non-vegetarian and got great reviews. Okay, let's look at the pros and cons. Let's start with the cons. First of all, it smells a little bit like cat food. Second, even though it's tolerable, it has a bit of an aftertaste. And finally, it is a bit pricey. I bought some at a reduced price and froze it because I wanted to know if it freezes well. I haven't had a chance to try it yet, but maybe I'll tell you more about that next week. Now onto the pro side. The packaging is great, it's really easy to cook, and it tastes pretty good. Now the texture is really nice and it doesn't get soggy or mushy. It is okay even if you don't like mushrooms. And you're allowed, okay? Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. And it's approved by non-vegetarians, so you can share with your friends and family. Overall, I liked it a lot, found it very versatile, and will definitely buy again. These are my thoughts on the next level minced meat. I'd love to hear yours. Are you team pro fake meat or team no fake meat? Let me know in the comments below. Meanwhile, click this video for more delicious food and click here to subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching and see you next time.